Hi, this is Adriana and you're watching the channel Spiritual Awakening with Adriana. I started this channel because a lot of my friends were asking me what spiritual awakening really is. And one of the important things to know is that you can find definitions, you can listen to words, you can think that you know what spiritual awakening is, but until you really contemplate on what it means for you, until then you will not be able to really understand it fully. You need to go to your heart and not to your brain, not to your mind. Just let your inner self tell you what spiritual awakening is and what spiritual awakening is awaiting for you. Today we will be talking about why self-love is so important for your spiritual awakening. Self-love is often construed as something that is not very good for you. Lots of people hear that you have to get rid of your ego, and they think that it means that you have to get rid of loving yourself, that you are not important, that you are just like like a little Borg, part of the big collective that is just in love with itself, and that you as yourself does not matter. This is just simply all on so many levels wrong, because first, we are these spiritual beings, immortal, eternal spiritual beings that are here for this experience in this lifetime. So definitely, even though getting rid of the ego is a normal process and it will result from your spiritual awakening, you will understand that you are not really this separate person from everybody else, and that you really need to love everybody in order to be able to be happy. The important thing to understand is that loving yourself is the first and the most important requisite on your road to the spiritual awakening. If you don't love yourself, then you are not able to take care of anybody else, you're not able to love anybody else. In the end, self-love is something that enables you to open your heart to love all the people. So if you don't love yourself, you can't love all the other people. And we have been taught wrongly all our lives. We have been taught that being somebody who denies ourselves of love is good for us, that being selfish is good, and self-love and being selfish are on the two opposite spectrums. Spirituality comes from the bottom of your heart. Spirituality comes from your heart that loves yourself. And most importantly, spirituality comes from the place of gratitude for being yourself, for being here, for having this experience in this lifetime, and for knowing that even though from this meat suit that we are wearing in this life, we may not be able to go and to understand what has happened before we were born, because this is like one point in time that we know and that we can at least in some ways understand. And then there is death that we can also in some ways understand, but we don't know what comes after death. So basically we are in this meat suit, and what we need to learn is to experience self-love. We need to learn how to experience this deep gratitude that you are who you are, and that you are having this experience. This does not mean that you have to be stuck in your ego and think that you are only that ego, because you are not. And the process of spiritual awakening is leading you from one place where you think that you are here just for this very determined number of days on this earth, and that you have had your parents, you have had your children, you have had your workplace, you were, I don't know, baker, you were a clerk, you were somebody, but when you spiritually awaken, you realize that things are not so simple. if you learn how to self-love, you will get much closer to the spiritual awakening. One of the things that you have to learn in order to really love yourself is that sex is nothing to be ashamed of. We have all been taught across many years that sex is bad, that sex is something very shameful, that sex is something that should be done this way or that way. No, sex is amazing, and sex is something that can bring us closer to our spirituality. If you want to really love people around you, and not only people, it includes animals, it includes even this feeling when you're sitting at the beach and you see this amazing ocean, you really can feel love for it. But if you are in the position where you don't really love who you are, if you are not at peace with who you are, then you will not be able to recognize that beauty. You will not be able to fully appreciate it. We have all been taught wrongly, unfortunately, in so many ways. And we need to learn how to come back to the very core of our existence, to the self that we are, and learn how to love ourselves and learn how to appreciate ourselves, learn how to wake up every morning and say to ourselves, "Good morning, I love you, dear." Because if you don't, then nobody else will. And there is so much love for you, there is so much love awaiting you, and you just have to open your heart for that love. The more heart you can give and the more love you can give, the more love you will receive back. So this is why self-love is so important, and not only for your spiritual awakening, but for your well-being. Do not hesitate to be madly and crazily in love with yourself. Have an amazing day, and I will see you very soon. Bye.